Namaste. So, in this video, I'm going to explain what levitation and materialization actually are in yogic science. And we'll also talk about why most of us in this modern day cannot do it anymore. We'll talk about how the rishis and the true yogis actually work with this knowledge. And also why most of the time, they will not show that power. They will not display that power to you. But in rare cases, some yogis do show this power. I mean, if you're lucky enough to meet Satya Sai Baba while he was in his body, you know that he used materialization maybe to get your attention and to bring you to a bigger message. So, if this interests you, please stay with me. This one's going to be interesting, educational, eye-opening. Actually, this one's going to be a third eye-opener, I think. So, please stick around. Well, what is levitation? I think we should know what levitation is. The way I mean it, magicians use several methods or stage tricks to look like they are floating in the air. And this is probably what you're thinking when we hear the word levitation. But in yogic terms, levitation is a science of a specific type of prana shakti, mastering a specific type of life force. And I promise we'll get into that. I need to explain it in a simpler way. Imagine you are forced to walk across a field of very sharp thorns, forced to step on a bed of thorn. Or even better, imagine a bed of burning coal stretched out in front of you, and you have to cross it, you have to walk over it. It's like you're in a Christian hell or something, forced to walk on a burning coal. But in modern shamanic practices, fire walking is actually a common practice as a way to burn your fear. Fire walking. So imagine that. Something happens in a person's body in that moment. A force inside the subtle body activates automatically. And for a moment, the body becomes much lighter. And sometimes you glide over the burning coal. That force is one of 5 life forces, prana shakti, automatically operating in your body. And I'll explain that. And mastering it, mastering this specific life force on purpose, is what gives a yogi the power to levitate. Now, stay till the end, because I'm going to explain exactly what that force is and where it lives in your body right now. Before I go into what the yogic science of all of this, let's talk about materialization. Let's understand what materializing is all about. In the Vedas, yogis who completed extreme tapasya, extreme austerities, they were said to bring their intention directly into physical form. You can read the Vedic scriptures or watch Ramayana or Mahabharata. During this time, weapons appearing out of pure will. Forces are summoned just by pure will. And in modern times, you've probably heard of the materializing powers of Satya Sai Baba, materializing Vibhuti, the sacred ash. And thousands of people watched him produce sacred ash from his hands and offered it as prasadam. He's also materialized jewelry, rings, objects out of thin air. You should go look this up for yourself. I'm sure it's on many channels on YouTube. Baba doing this in front of a room full of his own disciples over and over again. He's done this for decades. So watch it if you can. But I also want to tell you this about Sai Baba. Sai Baba didn't spend his life materializing ash or jewelry to prove a magic trick. He used it to get modern minds, skeptical minds, distracted minds to stop and pay attention. And once he had that attention, Sai Baba's actual message was never about materialization. His message was to love people and to serve people. That was the whole teaching. His materialization was just a doorway to get you to stop your racing mind and to pay attention to a bigger message. So stick around. We are going there next. Now, I want to bridge these supernatural powers to the actual force. And to understand either of these, levitation or materialization, we must go into two different Vedic sciences. Ayurveda, the ancient science of healing. And we also have to go into yoga, the ancient science of union with God. Now first, modern Ayurveda, the version sold to you today is plant medicine, herbs, minerals, diet plans, all of that. And that's real, and that's really good. But it's the outer layer of real Ayurveda. You see, the deeper layer, the hidden side of these sciences, isn't really compatible with the modern life. It's Ayurveda fused completely with Siddhi practice and a working knowledge of how the life force actually moves through the body. The mechanics of how it moves through. Let me tell you something personal here, because it's part of why I can even speak to this and share this with you. I come from a family of Vaidyas, Ayurvedic physicians, practitioners, generations of it. My great-grandfather wasn't only an Ayurvedic practitioner, he was known in his village for something beyond herbs and diagnosis. He had yogic powers, and he used them. He used them alongside his medicine to heal people. And you see, that wasn't rare in that time, in his generation. Medicine and mysticism were one practice. Next generation, my grandfather inherited the profession. But by his time, Ayurveda has lost the mystical side of it. It became what it is today: plant medicine, diet, and lifestyle. The yogic dimension of it was fading. And I'll tell you why. The mystical knowledge was lost. You see, my grandfather practiced Ayurveda right after the British Raj period in India. An entire generation of Indians came out of that period, taught to doubt their own science. They were taught to see it as folklore or just uncivilized instead of real knowledge. So even inside my own family, generation by generation, see, the depth of what was practiced diminished, because fewer people were taught to trust it. They were taught to trust modern medicine. I'm telling you this so you understand something. You see, what I'm handing you right now is in theory. It's a lineage, but weakened by modern medicine. It's like most lineages after a couple of hundred years of empires. But you see, the knowledge is still mine, and I can share that with you. Okay, let's get into the mechanics of these ancient yogic practices. That is levitation and materialization. I mentioned earlier that this is possible because of the Prana Shakti within us. Prana Shakti is the life force that animates, that energizes our mind and bodies, giving this body life and movement. And according to yogic science, the life force is called prana. And this prana doesn't move as one big current. It moves as 5 different types of currents. I'm going to briefly go over the 5 types of prana shakti, the life force. The first one is called prana vayu. Prana vayu. And it's centered in the heart and the chest area. And this is the force that pulls in automatically, pulls in breath, food, pulls in sensation, pulls in thoughts. All of it enters the body through the prana vayu first. The second type of prana shakti is called Apana vayu. Apana vayu. And it's located at the lower area of your body. The pelvis, the base of the body. This is the force that releases, force behind elimination, force behind waste, what the body no longer needs. It moves it down and out. In yogi terms, it's like letting go, but the body is letting go. It's Apana doing that. The third type of prana shakti is called Samana vayu, and it's located at the navel area. It's called the balancer. It's the vayu that takes whatever comes in, food, air, even an experience that comes in, even an emotion that comes in. Samavayu takes it in and it transforms it into something the body can actually use. This is the force of conversion. This is that banana that you ate becoming energy. Raw material becoming energy. And Samana does this automatically. The fourth type of prana shakti is called Vyana vayu. This force doesn't stay in one place. It moves through the whole body. Out from the heart and to every cell. And this is the force of circulation, blood circulation. And the fifth and the last prana shakti is called Udana vayu. And Udana vayu, it's centered at the throat. Throat. And moving upward toward the head. This is the current of speech, the current of growth, of actually standing upright instead of collapsing. And Udana vayu is the one that the tradition says that carries a person out of a body at the moment of death. Now that I've gone through the 5 types of prana shaktis, 5 directions, and 2 of them are what the yogis master to perform levitation and materialization. So, stay with me as we get into this. So, how is levitation activated? Udana vayu is the one that controls lift, making the body lighter. In the yogic scriptures, this power is called Laghima, and it's one of 8 classic Siddhis. the Ashta Siddhi coming out of intense yogic practices. Now, I'm not going into all 8 of them today, and I've already done several videos on that. So, a yogi who has genuinely mastered the Udana Prana Shakti, mastered it through years, sometimes decades of stillness and discipline, is said to be able to move through the world without being pulled down by gravity, defying gravity. And this is why I believe Jesus was a yogi who had done intense yogic practices. Walking on water is levitation. It isn't a trick of the mind. It's a redirection of a force that's already inside you right now. And it's holding your spine up and being able to walk upright. Udana is responsible for that. So if Udana is responsible for levitation, then what's responsible for materialization? Materialization works through Samana Vayu, the transformer. In the yogic text, this power is called Ishitva, command over creation itself. And it's the same force that turns food into energy. Same force, but mastered and redirected. And it's said to be able to turn a strong intention directly into a physical form. It's crazy to think all of this is possible, but I want to remind you that you already do this every day. But we call it manifestation. You held a desire long enough before you were living it. You prayed for a good direction for your life, and it shows up right on time. You prayed for a person, and he or she showed up maybe 8 months later. And we call it coincidence. No, that's materialization too, but with one thing, it's too slow and it's delayed because it's diluted by doubt, by distraction. It's weakened by a mind that isn't unified enough to convert intention into form right away, quickly. Materialization, in the true yogic sense, is that exact same force, Samana Vayu, used consciously, used directly, without delay. What takes most of us 2 years, a true yogi master can do it in a moment. Now you're probably wondering this. If there are yogis who have these so-called powers, why won't they show it, display it, so you can wipe out your doubts? We'll get into that too. I told you at the start, the ones who actually hold this power will almost never display it. And let me actually explain why. Believe me, it's not mystery for the sake of mystery. There's a real reason. Sage Patanjali himself, in the Yoga Sutras, calls these powers obstacles. They are not gifts, obstacles. Out in the world, a Siddhi, a power, looks like some kind of a achievement. But on the spiritual path, it's described as a trapdoor. The moment a yogi performs a power for an audience, just for the reason to be admired or to gather followers or to prove something, that's the moment the ego takes over. The yogi just spent 20 years to reach there. And now, the power becomes about him. And the entire point of this practice was to stop being all about him. Now think about what it costs the yogi. Years, sometimes lifetimes of discipline. And spending it to impress a room is like saving your money for decades and lighting the money on fire just for a quick applause. I'm going to tell you that the real yogi will not do that, because he's protecting something too rare to spend carelessly. This isn't a folklore. It isn't something that used to be possible, say, thousands of years ago, and isn't possible now. There are still yogis alive right now. In the Himalayas, in the forest, in small, unnamed ashrams, in places that no camera can ever reach there, who still carry this power. So, what's stopping us from expressing these powers? Why can't we have it? Three things, and believe me, none of them are mystical. They're all practical. The first reason, one reason why we are not able to, say, levitate or materialize at will. We lost the knowledge. Colonization of ancient civilizations didn't just take their land. It dismantled the Gurukul system. This ancient system was the way this knowledge was actually practiced and transmitted. Teacher to student, generation to generation. And it replaced it with a classroom model built for profit and control. Temples and texts that we lost. Lineages had to go underground just to survive. And what made it through, or made it through in fragments, in families, in oral tradition, and in the places colonization couldn't fully reach. That's reason number one. The second reason, we don't practice yama and niyama anymore. Yama and Niyama, these are the ethical foundation of Indian spirituality. Non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, restraint, non-attachment to one side, purity, contentment, discipline, self-study, and of course, surrender. Yama and Niyama, these are not commandments. These are not rules. These are practices that is to be trained. And without them, the nervous system never becomes still enough to even attempt to practice these powers. We don't even have the strength to practice. And the third reason why we are not able to experience these powers is an obvious one: our food. Most of what we eat now is tamasic, heavy, processed, dulling the system. And a body that's dull, a body that's inflamed, that's sedated by what it eats, it's not a body capable of recognizing powers, let alone mastering these forces and powers. It's barely capable of directing itself. We have built lives without realizing it. We're like closer to the animal nature than the divine one. Here's what I believe, watching the world right now. I think we are watching something old getting toned down so something new can come in. I truly do believe that. The chaos, the war, the division, the confusion. I don't think that's the end of the story. I think what we are seeing now is the end of a chapter. Right now, more than I've ever felt before, the world feels split. Split by consciousness. Some people are pulling toward light, and some people are pulling toward garbage, noise. And both are visible right now. We can see it. The good news, though, and I mean this, is that none of what we just talked about, the powers, the knowledge, the wisdom, none of it is gone. It's just dormant. And it's in you too. The Prana Shakti forces are still moving through your body right now. The difference is that the right knowledge and the discipline that we need. But hold the light anyway. I have no doubt, none, that what we just talked about is still available to us. Thank you for staying with me. I am Jyoti Shakti. Namaste and Wanakam.